Your bank is watching you, not in a paranoid conspiracy theory way, not in a tinfoil hat way, in a very real, very legal, very quietly happening right now way. Every single time you deposit $10,000 or more in cash into your bank account, your bank is legally required to file a report about you directly to the federal government. No warrant needed, no suspicion needed, no crime needed, just the act of depositing your own money, a money you earned, money you saved, money that is completely and legally yours, triggers an automatic government notification. It is called a currency transaction report, and it has existed since 1970. For over 50 years, this has been the invisible line drawn across American banking. Stay below $10,000 and nobody files paperwork about you. Go above it and a report with your name, your address, your account number, and the exact amount you deposited lands on a government database before you even get back to your car. Most people have no idea this exists, and the ones who do find out about it usually find out the worst possible way. Meet Daniel. Daniel owns a small restaurant in Chicago. Good food. Loyal customers? A business he built from nothing over 11 years. Every week, Daniel does what every small business owner does. He collects cash from his register, counts it out, and drives to the bank to make his deposit. Most weeks, his deposits run between $8,000 and $9,500. Not because he's trying to stay under any limit, simply because that is what his restaurant makes in a typical week. One Tuesday morning, Daniel walks into his branch with $9,400 in cash from a particularly busy weekend. Completely normal. Completely legitimate. He hands it over. The teller processes it. Daniel drives back to open up for the lunch rush. 3 weeks later, 2 federal agents are sitting in his restaurant. Not because Daniel did anything wrong, but because a pattern detection algorithm flagged his account for something called structuring. The government's position was that Daniel's consistent deposits, just under $10,000, looked suspicious. Like he was intentionally keeping his deposits below the reporting threshold to avoid triggering a currency transaction report. Daniel had never heard of a currency transaction report in his life. It did not matter. The government seized $35,000 from his business account under civil asset forfeiture laws. Daniel was never charged with a crime, never arrested, never convicted of anything. The money was simply taken, and getting it back required hiring a lawyer and fighting a legal battle that took 2 years and cost him nearly as much as they had seized in the first place. This is not a rare story. This is a pattern that has played out thousands of times across the country, and it is about to get dramatically more complicated, because the system that caught Daniel was primitive compared to what is being deployed right now. For 50 years, the $10,000 rule worked on a simple mechanical logic. One transaction, one threshold, one report. Cross the line, and a human at the IRS or FinCEN, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, would eventually look at the paperwork and decide whether it warranted further investigation. The system had obvious limitations. It was slow. It was blunt. It generated millions of reports that overwhelmed the investigators supposed to review them. And it was easy to understand, which meant people learned to work around it, which meant the government started prosecuting people for working around it, which is how Daniel ended up with federal agents eating his breadsticks on a Tuesday. Now, replace that entire system with artificial intelligence, and suddenly everything changes. everything. Here is what AI banking surveillance actually looks like in 2026. And this is not speculation. This is what the major financial institutions have already quietly deployed. Traditional monitoring asked one question: did the number exceed $10,000? AI monitoring asks thousands of questions simultaneously. What time of day does this customer typically make deposits? What is the average variance between their weekly deposits over the last 18 months? Does their spending pattern at grocery stores match the income level they reported on their mortgage application? Did they recently make 3 purchases at 3 different ATMs within a 90-minute window? Does the merchant category code on their card purchases align with their stated occupation? Have they sent more wire transfers this month than their 24-month behavioral baseline would predict? None of these questions individually mean anything, but the AI is not asking them individually. It is running all of them at once, weighting them against each other, comparing your profile against millions of other profiles, and generating a risk score that updates in real time with every single transaction you make. The $10,000 rule had one trigger. The AI system has no fixed trigger. It has a constantly shifting probability assessment of whether your financial behavior matches what it expects from someone like you. And if it decides you are behaving unexpectedly, a flag gets generated before you even finish the transaction. JP Morgan Chase processes over 6 billion transactions per year. Bank of America handles over 10 billion. Wells Fargo, Citibank, every major institution in the country has deployed machine learning systems specifically designed to find anomalies in that ocean of data. Systems that can identify patterns no human analyst could ever find manually. Systems that do not sleep, do not take weekends, do not need coffee, and do not need probable cause. HSBC made headlines when it deployed an AI surveillance system that monitors not just individual transactions, but relationship networks. Who you send money to, who sends money to you, whether the people in your financial network have been flagged by other financial institutions, whether the businesses you pay have unusual patterns in their own accounts. The AI is not just watching you. It is mapping everyone connected to you financially and looking for anomalies in the entire network simultaneously. This is not coming. It is here, right now, running on your account, generating scores about you that you cannot see, cannot request, cannot challenge, and in most cases cannot even prove exist. But here is where it gets truly strange. And this is the part that the banks are not advertising in their quarterly earnings calls. AI financial surveillance has a bias problem, a significant one. Because these systems are trained on historical data, and historical data reflects historical human decisions, and historical human decisions in banking have never been perfectly neutral. Studies examining AI fraud detection systems have found that accounts belonging to people in certain zip codes, certain professions, certain demographic groups get flagged at dramatically higher rates than accounts with identical transaction patterns in different zip codes or demographic categories. The algorithm did not learn to be biased. The algorithm learned from data that was biased. And now it is running that bias at scale, at speed, across hundreds of millions of accounts, in ways that are essentially invisible to the people affected by it. Daniel from Chicago was a small restaurant owner making cash deposits. The AI pattern matched him against a risk profile built from historical cases and flagged him. Would a different customer making identical deposits from a different type of business in a different part of the city have been flagged the same way? The banks will not release the data that would let you answer that question, because they do not have to. Now, layer in something else that is happening simultaneously. The IRS recently announced a significant expansion of its AI capabilities for tax enforcement. The stated goal is to use machine learning to identify high earners who are underreporting income by cross-referencing their reported earnings with their bank transaction data, their social media activity, their public property records, their travel patterns, and their spending behavior. Read that sentence again. Social media activity. The AI enforcement system is not just looking at your bank account. It is looking at what you post online, what you buy, where you travel, what you own, and whether the lifestyle it can infer from your digital footprint matches the income you reported to the government. Post a photo of your new boat on Instagram and earn $80,000 a year on paper, and the algorithm notices the discrepancy. This is not hypothetical future technology. The IRS commissioner announced this publicly. The funding was allocated, the contracts were signed, the system is being built right now. So where does this leave you? Here is the honest answer. The $10,000 rule is not gone. It still exists. The currency transaction report still gets filed, but it is now the least sophisticated tool in a surveillance infrastructure that most Americans have no idea they are living inside of. The practical reality for everyday people in 2026 is this. Your bank is not just a place that holds your money. It is a data collection operation that generates a continuous, real-time behavioral profile of your financial life. That profile is processed by AI systems looking for deviations from your own historical patterns and deviations from statistical models of people who share your characteristics. And those systems are increasingly integrated with government enforcement agencies in ways that blur the line between your private financial activity and state surveillance in ways the architects of the original Bank Secrecy Act in 1970 could never have imagined. None of this means the sky is falling. Most people will never be affected by any of this in any way they ever notice. The systems are genuinely catching real criminals, real money laundering, real tax fraud, real financial crimes that hurt real people. But Daniel never committed a crime either. And the grandmother who has been putting $800 a month in cash into her account for 30 years because she does not fully trust banks, after growing up in a country where banks failed, she has never committed a crime either. And somewhere in a database right now, there is a risk score attached to her account that she has never seen, generated by an algorithm she has never heard of. Flagging behavior that she has no idea looks suspicious to a machine that knows nothing about her history or her reasons. The $10,000 rule was a line drawn in the sand. AI did not erase the line. It replaced the sand with a surveillance grid that covers everything, that runs constantly, that learns continuously, and that can draw a line anywhere it decides to draw one. Your money is still yours. Whether your money is still private is a completely different question. And the answer, in 2026, is more complicated than most people are ready to hear.